So basically, just to let you that, let me message page. So I'm following all the examples and everything from here. And after we are done today, if you have 5 minutes, I will set up uh, that SQL in your computer so you can practice.
All right.
So I'm going to cover all the basic commands. For example, this is a select command. You see, select, and select has so many things like querying data, sorting information, filtering data, and then joining table, grouping. So all the thing you see here, these are the basic commands you should know about SQL. So I'll teach you all this. That's
Okay.
why it will take minimum 10 to 12 hours. So
Okay.
once you know all this, you will be an expert in SQL.
Yeah, just as a user.
Yeah. So I'm going to set up this Hey SQL. So you was talking about SQL Server, right? Is that what you use in your work?
Yeah.
So what I'm teaching here is MySQL because
Yeah,
SQL
that's
Server
fine.
is not.
Like I said, the most important thing for me is to be able to write some of the queries and to recognize and understand what's going on.
Absolutely. So
That's the most
SQL
important.
Server, SQL Server and MySQL, not much difference because SQL Server also has all these commands. So the only difference would be the syntax. But once you learn the basics, it's like learning Java and then switching to some other language similar to
Hmm.
that. So
Hmm.
once you learn all these like joins, filtering, sorting, and everything, you would be able to do the same thing in SQL Server also. But this is
Okay.
MySQL because SQL Server is not free, so I won't be able to teach that. But MySQL is free, so
Hmm.
you will learn all the basics from here. And
Hmm.
the switching from SQL Server would be just to go to Google and then look for a query. For example, select query in SQL Server. So you would be able to find equivalent query with SQL Server like this. You will search in Google, and then that will give you the equivalent of that.
Okay.
Okay, so let's start. So I'm going to today set up this. This is called Hey SQL. Again, this is also free. I teach all the free products, so I don't have to
Hmm.
spend anything other than the time.
Hmm.
This is Hey SQL. SQL Server would have a similar interface. So what this does is connect with the database.
Hmm.
So uh, the database in this case is MySQL has to be installed first, and
Okay.
then ADSQL is just the interface to communicate with that database. For you in your work, what exactly you use to communicate with the SQL Server? What tool you use?
Well, we have a tool called Visual Cron, a scheduling tool.
Okay, so it would be in this case ADSQL that will communicate with our MySQL
Yeah.
data. So I'll set it up today for you so you can practice.
Hmm.
Okay, so now let's start the first uh, command, which is called select.
Hmm.
So before we start this select, let me give you an idea of what actually a database is.
Okay.
So any database like SQL Server or MySQL, uh, it has information inside of a database table. And you used Excel before, right?
Yes.
So you can think a database table is very similar to an Excel.
Hmm.
Excel has all these columns and Excel has all these rows, right? So if I put a data in, for example, data one, data two, data three, and then let's copy it over. So here I have three columns and I have four rows.
Hmm.
So you can think this as a similar to a database table.
Hmm.
A database table would have uh, number of columns, and it will have number of rows.
Right.
So for this website, they actually gave all the data and everything, which I'm to set it up for you. So you can practice all the query, and you see here, everything they provided, the data, like all these things. I would set everything up for you, so you can run all these queries. So once I set it up for you, it will have all these tables. For example, employees table, customer tables. So if you work for a company, they will have different database table to store different information about the company. For example, it might have employees. So in your workplace, they will have so many employees, right? So, so the company will have a database where they are going to have an employee table. They are going to have customers. So they are going to store the customer information in customer table. They are going to have so many offices. So they are going to store all this information in the office table. So all the items you see here, these are different tables of this classic models database, which I'm to set it up for you today.
Okay.
And then all the query you see here, employees and everything, after I set it up, you'd be able to run all the queries and practice. So now let me show you the first SQL command. So you can, it's similar to like Java. You can copy it from here and then run it on the fly to SQL. It will work. So if I want to see all the tables in the employee data in the employee table, so what I will write here is select asterisk. Asterisk means everything, and a semicolon at the end from employee, and then execute it. So now select asterisk meaning show all the columns. If you go to Excel, it will have column A, B, C, D, E, F. So you can think a table similar to an Excel. So here it has employee number, last name, first name. So these are all the columns. So if you think about Excel, A, B, C, D, E, these are the columns. Our employee table, our columns are employee number, last name, first name, extension, email. So these are all the columns. And
those are the columns, the ones going, okay.
So it's very similar to like an Excel.
Excel, yeah.
And all the rows are here. Number, you see employee number.
So the data goes in the rows.
Yeah, so data goes in the row.
Okay.
And
so
then,
if running a query, what the goal is to manipulate the row. So either you getting data from the row or you changing the order or something. But it's applied row by row.
Yes. Okay. So the query is to fetch information from the table. That's what we are doing here. The select is allowing you to view what information you have in the employee table. If you want to know information about the employee, you run a select command from the employee table, and that will show you everything. The asterisk is showing you everything here. It has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 columns. And you see here, one of them is null. Null meaning it has no value. Right. So if you have something blank in the database, it is represented as null. Something to remember. So if you put a null, that is equivalent to nothing. So here, this is the information of the president. Last name, first name, his extension, and his email. This is VP of sale. This is VP of marketing. So this is showing all the columns in a table with asterisks. Any question?
No question.
So now we will see a couple of more examples. So let's say I don't want to see all the columns. I want to see only employee's last name. So then what I will do is, so again, I'll put comment. I commented the first, so it won't get executed.
Okay.
So now I want to know what are the last name of my employee. So instead of everything, it return only the last name column, you see, to find the last name. So select from employee, no change there. Instead of asterisk, I have put the last name there. My last name was, so if I comment it back, run this one. So you see here, last name was the name of my column. That's what I have put it here. So if you want to know any information about a column, you put the name of that column. And then that will return information about that. You got that?
Yeah.
So let's say I want to know first name. So instead of last name here, I put first name here. It will return information about only this row.
Only that row. Okay. Oh no, that column rather, right?
Right. If I put extension, it would put extension. So let me.
So it selects. So it's the selects whatever you need from the select the column.
Right.
Oh, so we're selecting the column from the
So
table.
now it's not asterisk anymore. It's not showing everything. It's showing only
Right.
that column.
Okay. Okay. Oh, I see. So it's the column.
Right. And then let's see this example. See how I can easily copy it from there and run it.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't have to be line. You can put it in same line if it is more understandable to you. Or some people understand better in different lines. So it's all up to you. I understand better in the same line.
Yeah, this makes
So
more
some
sense
people
now.
some
So
people
the
understand.
whatever we're selecting is all. I don't know why I always thought it was the individual pieces of data. So that used to confuse me. So I could, like, when I see the statement, I couldn't put it together, but now it makes sense. All we're
Right.
doing is selecting those columns
So
from the table.
for me, putting in different lines is not better understandable. I understand this way better.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I'm putting everything in one line. So now if I want to see, so this one was selecting only one column. So now I want to see three columns, last name, first name, and job title only. So I put with them with comma, separated, and select from employee, no change there. And it is now showing me three columns, last name, first name, and job title.
Mm-hmm.
Clear, right? So this example showing everything.
Right.
This example showing only one column, and this example showing three columns. These are just different examples to make you ready. So when you start working in SQL Server, you also able to write queries.
Yeah, yeah.
Because the concept would be same.
Mm-hmm. So we're selecting whatever columns from the table.
Yes.
Okay.
Anywhere, any database, SQL Server, Oracle, MySQL, any database you work with, this is the concept.
Mm-hmm.
This won't change. This will be same everywhere. Once you master this technique, you would be able to write SQLs everywhere.
Everywhere, yeah. Because if you understand what it's doing, it's easy.
Right, right, right. So this is done. So now
and then when we're writing it, it's just comma after each column.
Yes.
Okay.
Once you put a comma, you really don't need any space.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I want to close that space. Here, I was putting a space. So this one is big, so I won't put any space here, just to show you, demonstrate to you that you really don't need space. Once a comma is there, that will take care. You don't need a space in between. This example is for that. But you do need a space after form, before form, and you do need a space after select. But number of columns, comma separated, do not require any space.
Okay, okay.
Now here you can select all this example. And then select example I already showed you. That was at the end, but I thought it would be better to show you at the beginning, because then you see everything and then you isolate the one that you need. Okay, so these are the basic select statement you can think of.
Mm-hmm.
Before we move on to the next topic, you have any question?
No, this is this you clarified this for me really, because I, even as simple as this was, I was struggling to like construct it in my head. So
Yes.
now it's very clear because it just selects the columns, whether it's one column or 1,000 columns from the table. That's it. Separated by
Actually,
comma. That's all.
yeah, I will actually email. I will save all this for you. Whatever I'm running every day, I'll save it for you like this in our cheat sheet.
Okay.
And then I'll email it to you every day.
Okay.
Whatever we are learning, I'll email it to you like this.
Okay. Okay.
You can not only like play with it, you can also remember. Maybe someday you if you want to refresh your mind, you can create a cheat sheet like this and then
Exactly.
save somewhere. All
Exactly.
the queries we are learning, I'm going to day by day, like with a date, I'll save everything for you here
Mm-hmm.
and then email it to you.
Okay.
Okay, so that's done. So let's move on to the next example. So next example is here you have a table. And then next example is without when you don't have a table, you can do a lot of things. So here our table was employees.
Okay.
That was our table.
Right.
So now we are going to learn something where without a table, what you can do. So this is one example. So let's say you want to add two numbers. So you can put select 1 plus 1, it will give you the result 2.
Okay.
Clear, right?
All right.
That's first example. The second example is, let's say you want to know what is these. See, these doesn't require having a table. We are learning some query without implementing any table. So now let's say you want to know today's date, time, and particular like hour, minute, second. So you can use select now, start bracket, end bracket. That will give you that. Again, it all depends on your need. We are learning all these because you would be required to write queries. So wherever, if anytime it requires a date, time, year, then you would know that you have to use this command now.
Okay.
Clear, right?
Okay.
Select now will give you these.
Okay.
Year, month, day, and then hour, minute, second. So this is a concat function.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say I want to add John with a dough and with a space in between.
Mm-hmm.
There are actually 3 items here with a quote, single quote, John, comma, and then single quote, and then a space in between, and then Doe in between quote. And once you concat these three, it will give you John Doe and a space in between. So this is actually a space. If I put a underscore in between, then it will give underscore here. See? Now, just to explain to you what actually that space was. So if I remove this and put a space, it will give space. So this is the use of concat function. Any question?
No. So which one is the one that they do select where something?
Yeah, we will get to that.
Okay.
Because that's a very good question. So this is the one that will do
filtering. Okay.
So we are now here querying data.
Oh, okay, that's fine. Yeah, let's continue.
Next we'll do sorting. Then we'll do filtering. That's where will come.
I see. Okay.
You will learn everything here. I'm not leaving anything for you. In between, not in, or you will learn. And once you finish this 12 hour, whatever 10, 12 hour, you will be an expert in SQL, believe me. Because everything here joining, I'm not leaving anything here for you. Everything will be covered. The basics you will learn once you finish.
Yeah, which is important. Yep.
So that is the function of concat. So there is a table called dual table. So what that does is, let me example. Let me run this. So let's say you want to add two numbers and you want to store that